Hi everyone. Today we are going to see the new school in the age of transition. We have already seen the first part of the new school in the previous video. So we are going to complete today with the writer Robert Burns. Thomas Chatterton was born in 1752 and died in the year of 1717. He was a chief poet of the 18th century Gothic literary revival. He was the youngest writer of England and precursor of the Romantic movement. He was also influenced so many romantic artists of the period such as Shelley, Keats, Wordsworth and Coleridge. Here I have given the first two lines and the last two lines of the poem Elegy by Chatterton. Here are the Rowley poems. Rowley poems refers to a collection of poems attributed to a 15th century monk named Thomas Rowley, who was supposedly a contemporary of Chaucer. However, these poems were actually written by the 18th century poet Thomas Chatterton, who only created Rowley as a fictional medieval poet. Isla, a tragedy in which Chatterton attempted to mimic the style of ancient English drama. It tells the story of Isla, a Saxon chief, and his battles against the Danes. The next one is miscellaneous poem. Chatterton wrote many other poems, including Song to Isla, The Tournament, and The Romance of the Snigate. The next one is letters. Chatterton also wrote several letters, including those to Horace Walpole. He claimed to have discovered the Rowley manuscript. Chatterton's works were not widely recognized during his lifetime, and he struggled with poverty. He is known for his tragic life and the controversy surrounding his alleged forgeries. The next writer is William Blake, who was born in 1757 and died in the year of 1827. He was an English poet, painter, and printmaker. He was also unrecognized during his life, now considered a seminal figure in the history of the poetry and visual art of what he called his prophetic works were said by 20th century critic Northrop Frye to form the Romantic Age. The first collection of poems is Poetical Sketches in 1783. In 1784, after his father's death, Blake and former fellow apprentice James Parker opened a print shop. They began working with radical publisher Joseph Johnson. In Visions of the Daughters of Albion in 1793, Blake condemned the cruel absurdity of enforced chastity and marriage without love and defended the right of women to complete self-fulfillment. Here I have given the list of poems which were written by our writer Blake. Songs of Innocence in 1789, Songs of Experience in 1794, The Book of Thel in 1790, The French Revolution in 1791, The Visions of the Daughters of Albion in 1793, America in 1793, the First Book of Urizen in 1794, and the Book of Ahania in 1795, the Book of Laws in 1795, the Song of Laws in 1795. And the next incompleted work of Blake or Milton and Jerusalem. Okay, here I have given the list of poems which were included in the Songs of Innocence and Songs of Experience, which were very popular during his lifetime and this days. Okay, the Book of Thel in 1790 explores the theme of innocence, experience, and the cycle of life and death. Thel, a young virgin spirit, encounters various figures who question her understanding of life and existence. She is troubled by the fleeting nature of life and the inevitability of death, and she ultimately chooses to return to the world of the living rather than face the unknown afterlife. The first book of Urizen in 1794 is a significant prophetic work by this poet. Initially titled The First Book of Urizen in 1794, later editions dropped the word first. The book is named after Urizen, a figure in Blake's mythology. It also describes Urizen as the primeval priest and narrates how he became separated from the other Eternals to create his own alienation and enslaving realm of religious dogma and laws and enithamon, create a space within Urizen's fallen universe to give birth to their son Orc. In form, the book is a parody of the book of Genesis. Urizen's first four sons are Trill, Uta, Grona, and Fusen. So they respectively elemental, air, water, earth, fire, according to chapter 8 in the book. The last of these plays a major role in the Book of Ahania, published in 1795. The Book of Ahania was one of the English poet William Blake's prophetic books. It was published in 1795, illustrated by Blake's own plates. Plates refer to the printing plate, so he had done himself. The poem of the book consists of 6 chapters. Ahania is Urizen's female counterpart in this book. Next one is the Song of Laws in 1795, which was written in 1795. It is an epic poem which is also a part of the prophetic books. So it is divided into 2 sections, Africa and Asia. Africa is often associated with the physical and spiritual origins of humanity, while Asia symbolizes the wisdom and spirituality of the East. These continents are depicted as undergoing upheaval and transformation, reflecting the larger themes of revolution and spiritual change. Africa and Asia are not just geographical locations in Blake's works, but are used metaphorically to convey deeper philosophical and spiritual ideas. Here, the next poet is Robert Burns. He was born in 1759 and died in the year of 1796. Robert Burns was also known familiarly as Rabbi Burns, and he was a Scottish poet and lyricist. He is widely regarded as the national poet of Scotland and is celebrated worldwide. He is the best known of the poets who have written in the Scots language. In 2009, he was chosen as the greatest Scot by the Scottish public in a vote run by Scottish television channel STV. His poem Auld Lang Syne, which was often sung at Hogmanay, that means last day of the year. So Auld Lang Syne is a popular Scottish song, particularly in the English speaking world. Traditionally, it is sung to bid farewell to the old year at the stroke of midnight on New Year's Eve or Hogmanay. Okay, here Scots Wha served for a long time, unofficial national anthem of the country. Other poems and songs of Burns that remain well known across the world today include A Red, Red Rose, A Man is a Man for a Aid That, To a Louse, To a Mouse, The Battle of Saramoy, Tom O. Santer and I. Fond Kiss. Here we are going to see the first poem of this man, A Red, Red Rose. Is a 1794 song in Scots language based on traditional sources. It is also referred to by the title, Oh, my love is like a red, red rose, and is often published as a poem. Many composers have set Burns' lyric to music, but it gained worldwide popularity set to the traditional tune Low Down in the Broom. The next poem is To a Louse on Seeing on Ladies Bonnet at Church. Is a 1786 Scots language poem by Robert Burns in his favorite meter Standard Abbey. The poem's theme is contained in the final verse. A man is a man for a that, also known as is the for honest poverty or for that a that. A 1795 song written in Scots and English, famous for its expression of egalitarian ideals of society, which may be seen as expressing the ideals of republicanism that arose in the 18th century. The song made its first appearance in a letter Burns wrote to George Thomson in January 1795. It was subsequently published anonymously in the August edition of the Glasgow magazine, a radical monthly. Here, to a mouse on turning her up in her nest with the plough, November 1785, is a Scots language poem written by Robert Burns in 1785. It was included in the Kilmarnock volume and all of the poet's later editions, such as the poems chiefly in the Scottish dialect. According to the legend, Burns was ploughing the fields at his Mosgiel farm and accidentally destroyed a mouse nest which is needed to survive the winter. In fact, Burns' brother Gilbert claimed the poet composed the poem while still holding his plough. The next poem is The Battle of Seramoy. Is a song about the Battle of Serifmuir, which occurred in Scotland in 1715 at the height of the Jacobite rising in England and Scotland. It was written when Burns toured the Highlands in 1787 and first published in the Scots Musical Museum 1719. Next poem is Tam O' Shanter. Here I have given the beautiful lines of that poem. Tam O' Shanter is a narrative poem written by this poet in 1790 while living in Dumfries. First published in 1791 at 228 lines, it is one of Burns' longer poems and employs a mixture of Scots and English. It describes the habits of Tam, a Scots nickname for Thomas. Here, a farmer who often gets drunk with his friends in a public house in the Scottish town of Ayr and his thoughtless ways, specifically towards his wife who waits at home for him. At the conclusion of one such late night revel after a market day, Tom rides home on his horse Meg while a storm is brewing. On the way, he sees the local haunted church lit up with witches and warlocks dancing and the devil playing the bagpipes. He is still drunk, still upon his horse, just on the edge of the light, watching, amazed to see the place be decked with many gruesome things, such as gibbet irons and knives. Here you have to see the gibbet irons. This is the gibbet iron. I have given the picture of this gibbet iron Yes, he has seen these gruesome things near to the witches that has been used to commit murders. The music intensifies as the witches are dancing, and upon seeing one particularly wanton witch in a short dress, Tam loses his reason and shouts, "Well done, Cootie Shark!" Okay, he has shouted. Immediately the lights go out, the music and dancing stop, and many of the creatures run after Tom, with the witches leading. Tom spurs Meg to turn and flee and drives the horse on towards the river Doon as the creatures dare not cross the running stream. The creatures give chase and the witches come so close to catching Tam and Meg that they pull Meg's tail off just as she reaches the brink o' Doon. The Brick o' Doon, a medieval bridge in Robert Burns' home village of Alloway, which formed part of the setting of his poem Tam o' Shanter. So in Tam o' Shanter, he used the setting of this place, okay, the Brick o' Doon. Okay, so here you have to see so many poems of this man Burns. Okay, he has written so many poems, and I have given some of the poems, best important poems only given in this slides. Okay, a red rose to a louse, a man is a man for a that to a mouse, the battle of Saramoid, Tam o' Shanter. Okay, thank you.